Last time on Beyond Compare Wrestling, the BCW Commonwealth Title Tournament wrapped up the quarterfinal round with Victor Payne, Tony Rizzo, Tafik, and Amir Mann all advancing to the semifinals. Tonight, the semifinals kick off with a super heavyweight battle between the 375-pound undefeated Victor Payne clashing with the 315-pound seasoned veteran Tony Rizzo. Plus, Tafik clashes with the brass knuckle wielding Amir Mann, who cheated his way to the semifinal. Also, tensions are mounting between Dirty Don and his two challengers for the BCW World Title, Cameron Lewis and Benson Hicks. These combustible elements come to a head in tonight's explosive main event as Dirty Don and Hard Limit face Benson Hicks and the Brotherhood in six-man tag team action. Beyond Compare Wrestling presents BCW 43 Dirty Work.
Thank you for joining us here tonight for another episode of Beyond Compare Wrestling. Tonight we are presenting to you BCW 43 Dirty Work, and what a card we have on hand for tonight's episode as we are continuing the BCW Commonwealth Title Tournament with two semifinal matchups. First, it will be a super heavyweight clash between the undefeated Victor Payne taking on the veteran Tony Rizzo. And then in our second matchup, they faced each other's tag team partners in the quarterfinals, and tonight they are locking horns as Amir Big Money Man takes on Tafik. Then in our third matchup, it will be SLUGG taking on the Euroslam champion BYRON Cassidy in a non-title match, and then an explosive six-man tag main event, BCW World Champion teaming up with his Goon Squad Hard Limit to take on Benson Hicks and the Brotherhood. That will be our main event here tonight. But before we get there, we have the road to the semifinals. We are going to break down in this video package how all four semifinalists got to the BCW Commonwealth Title semifinals. First, a few months ago, it was Victor Payne taking on Mr. GM in what was essentially a squash match. Victor Payne 13-0. He just absolutely smothered Mr. GM, and it was a quick and easy victory that allowed Victor Payne to punch his ticket to the semifinals. And then just last week, it was Tony Rizzo taking on the Idol, Sergio Gomez. Sergio Gomez, he removed that top turnbuckle pad, and he was cheating throughout the whole match, using it at will. Then when the referee went to go repair that turnbuckle pad, Tony Rizzo hit Sergio with that huge low blow and punched his ticket to the semifinals. So tonight in our first matchup, super heavyweight hoss battle, Victor Payne, Tony Rizzo. That is going to be an explosive opener. And then heading to the other side of the bracket, it was Tafik versus Grizzly Mac. This was nearly a mirror match of the competitors, both so strong, so jacked, so explosive. But in the end, Tafik was able to hit that devastating, that brutal, that ugly, burning hammer finisher. He's been putting opponents away left and right with it. He hit it on Grizzly Mac, and it allowed him to punch his ticket to the semifinals. And then in the last quarterfinal matchup, it was Amir Mann using the brass knuckles on Kensho. Referee did not see the brass knuckle use. Amir Mann went in for the cover, hid the evidence, and picked up the win. This was the biggest upset in BCW history. No one had Amir Mann advancing on their bingo card, but Amir Mann was able to advance. Can he pull out one more win here tonight to get to the finals? And as we look at the updated bracket here on the left side, Tony Rizzo and Victor Payne. On the right, Amir Mann and Tafik. Who will advance tonight to get to the finals? Tonight we will have the finals all locked up to know who will be competing against each other at BCW Slamtacular for the opportunity, for the right to be the first ever BCW Commonwealth Champion. Such an amazing tournament, and I know we're going to have two more amazing matchups here tonight. But before we get to the action, we got to take a quick commercial break. Stay tuned. We'll be back in a second after these messages. All right, and we are going to break down the competitors for this Commonwealth Title Tournament semifinal. Victor Payne, 6'9", 375, 13-0, longest undefeated streak in BCW. He was the 2023 and 2024 Wrestler of the Year nominee. He's the biggest and strongest on the roster, and he defeated Tony Rizzo at BCW 9. Whereas Tony Rizzo, 6'1", 315, he was the most improved Wrestler of the Year in 2023, former #1 contender. He is the only man on the roster to hold a pinfall over the BCW World Champion Dirty Don. And Tony Rizzo's record is a bit deceiving at 6-6 because he has won 5 of his last 6 matchups. But I think this is really going to come down to the finishers. Will it be the devastating Cobra Clutch submission of a Victor Payne, or will it be that 5-star lariat of a Tony Rizzo? I think whoever can hit that finisher first is going to have a real strong bid to winning the match. But it's all about who can impose their will in this huge super heavyweight hoss battle. This is more humanity than we've ever had in a match here in BCW. Who is going to punch their ticket to the finals? We're going to find out in this opener. Let's take it to the ring for this super heavyweight battle in the semifinals of the BCW Commonwealth Title Tournament.
The following is a semifinal match in the BCW Commonwealth Title Tournament. He stands a towering 6 feet 9 inches tall and weighing in at 375 pounds. He is a freestyle wrestler who comes to us from Berlin, Germany. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Victor Payne.
And here he is, the super heavyweight that has been cutting through the BCW roster like a hot knife through butter. Victor Payne, 6'9", 375, undefeated. No one on the roster that he has faced has been able to crack the code of how to beat this big, huge powerhouse juggernaut. And that includes the likes of a Tony Rizzo who faced Victor Payne on episode 9. Can Victor Payne defeat Tony Rizzo one more time and punch his ticket to the finals? We're going to find out in this matchup.
Standing 6'1" and weighing in at 315 pounds, he is a powerhouse wrestler from Rome, Italy, Mr. Tony Rizzo.
And here he is making his way to the ring, the super heavyweight veteran Tony Rizzo. He faced Victor Payne on episode 9, and he was unable to get the job done. But this here tonight is a very different Tony Rizzo than the one that faced Victor Payne on episode 9. He is 5-6 in his last 6 matchups, and he is taking a lap around the ring in no hurry to get in there, because I think he is going through his mind and surveying the scene, which could be the battleground of his greatest victory or his greatest defeat here tonight. Does Tony Rizzo have a different game plan to defeat a Victor Payne? There is no template for beating Victor Payne. No one's been able to do it. Does Tony Rizzo have something up his sleeve here tonight? We are going to find out. And Tony Rizzo, he looks ready to compete here tonight. He looks ready to step into the ring against the juggernaut Victor Payne. But can he implement his game plan and pick up the victory? We're going to find out here tonight. Victor Payne in the red corner. Tony Rizzo in the blue. The bell has rung. The match is underway. First matchup here tonight. Semi-final match in the Commonwealth Title Tournament. And as I mentioned in the intros, this is the biggest matchup that we've ever had in BCW in terms of the weight of the competitors. 375 and 315. And I hope they reinforce the ring, because this one is going to be a true hoss battle. And Tony Rizzo going for these big suplexes, picking up 375 like it's absolutely nothing. Oh, and these men now trading chops. Victor Payne, huge rights. Staggers Tony Rizzo, sends him back to his corner. Victor Payne really unleashing the strikes. He's known for those big power moves. But when you have a big, huge arm like Victor Payne, a punch can be absolutely devastating. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. When you are as big as a Victor Payne, when you are 6'9", 375, even the most rudimentary of moves can be absolutely devastating. A hip toss can shatter your hips. It can break your back. Just a simple punch can break your jaw. That is the danger you face when you face a Victor Payne. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, a ginormous powerbomb to the outside. Tony Rizzo could be out of this one. Gets right back up to his feet, though, and Victor Payne taking a victory lap. Tony Rizzo going right up and over. That has got to be about 10 feet right to the ground from a powerbomb. And there is very little padding. It's almost like having zero padding on the outside, those thin mats. Victor Payne going for broke. Victor Payne does not get paid by the hour, but only a 1 count from Tony Rizzo. And this is not the start that Tony Rizzo wanted. This is a beautiful start for Victor Payne. And as I was saying before, Victor Payne nearly killed Tony Rizzo with that powerbomb. The danger that any competitor faces when they face a Victor Payne is he is so big and so strong, any move can take you out. It could be a career-ending matchup when you face Victor Payne. There is no one else on the roster that is as dangerous as a Victor Payne, where you are taking your career in your own hands facing him. And Victor Payne, being the biggest and the strongest on the roster, he has always faced men that are smaller than him. But I think with Tony Rizzo, he is so big himself. It is really closing the gap between how big Victor Payne is and how big his opponent is. There's about a 60-pound difference between these two, which is still quite a bit, but not as much as when Victor Payne has faced lighter competitors. Victor Payne has in the past faced competitors that he was quite literally twice as heavy as. Tony Rizzo there with a big, huge boot, going to check his progress. Only gets a 1. Not surprising there. If you can get a 2 count on someone the likes of a Victor Payne, that is a moral victory right there. And a big, huge back body drop, taking 375 up and over. And as I mentioned, these two face each other on BCW 9. It was Victor Payne picking up the win. And that was the start of Victor Payne going through the roster. He had defeated Tony Rizzo's pupils, PJ Parker and Will Roberts, in the same night and beat them both. And then at our first pay-per-view, the breakout pay-per-view, Victor Payne was able to face Tony Rizzo and defeat him. Tony Rizzo here trying to get out of this bear hug. Tony Rizzo's got to have something. He's got to hit some big maneuvers. He's got to use... I think Tony Rizzo is a bit more explosive. He's a little bit quicker, whereas Victor Payne, he is so strong, but he is very slow. I think if you can get Victor Payne off his feet for any length of time, get him on his back, ground him, that would be the best maneuver. And oh, going here for a big, huge lariat himself. Tony Rizzo's finisher is that 5-star lariat, and that was a lariat that I might even give that one 6 stars. That was a huge lariat from a huge man, but Tony Rizzo rallying. And Tony Rizzo really showing his resilience here. He got right up after that powerbomb, and he got right up after that big, huge lariat that turned him inside out. And that might be Tony Rizzo's key to victory in this one. Use that resiliency. Try and keep Victor Payne down. Use your speed. Use your explosiveness. Try and hit some big maneuvers. And hopefully you can catch a quick pinfall on Victor Payne. Tony Rizzo not known for his submission, so I think he is really going to try and hone in on the pinfall for this one. Oh, and right there we've seen that big, huge boss man slam. 1, 2. That's what... Oh, Tony Rizzo kicks out. That is almost a mirror of what we saw Victor Payne do to Mr. GM to advance to the semifinals here. And now it looks like he's setting him up for this Cobra clutch. And he is. Can Tony Rizzo get out? Victor Payne just really wrenching on it. He has put opponents away before. And that is it. Victor Payne picks up the win in a short match here tonight. Absolutely dominant against a very, very game Tony Rizzo. But as we see here, with that big, huge boss man slam, and then Tony Rizzo was not able to get out of this one. Victor Payne so tall, once he cinches that in, he has the leverage, he has the strength advantage, and he is going to the finals of the Commonwealth Title tournament. He has advanced.
Here is your winner by submission, Victor Payne.
And when we look to the bracket coming up for Tafik and Amir, man, that is going to be their prize. That is going to be their reward for winning the second Commonwealth semifinal matchup. You got to face Victor Payne in the finals. And as we look at the updated bracket here, Victor Payne is there. He is going to BCW Slamtacular. He will be competing in the finals to be the first ever BCW Commonwealth champion. But who is going to join him? Is it going to be the dark horse Amir Man, or will it be Tafik? We're going to find out in our second semifinal match coming up next. But we got to take a quick commercial break. Let's take that break so we can get back to the action here at BCW 43 Dirty Work. Well, there we go. Sergio Gomez is not done with Tony Rizzo. But looking to our next matchup, we got the breakdown between Amir Man and Tafik. Amir Man, 5'10", 205, 2-6. And his record is also deceiving because he has won his last 2 matches. And he defeated 2 of the top competitors in BCW, if you can believe it, in Cameron Lewis, who is the current #1 contender and the 2024 Most Improved Wrestler of the Year, and Kensho, who is a former #1 contender. No one had Amir Man on their bingo card to make it this far in the tournament. Can he pick up one more win against Tafik? We're going to find out here. And Tafik, 2022 Match of the Year winner, former #1 contender for the world title, former #1 contender for the tag titles. His partner got hit in the face with those brass knuckles by Amir, so that gives a little extra oomph to Tafik wanting to beat Amir Man here tonight. And this is the second semifinal. The winner, their prize, will be advancing to the finals to face Victor Payne for the opportunity to become the first ever BCW Commonwealth champion at BCW Slamtacular. Who's going to pick up the win? Let's find out in the second semifinal match here tonight. Amir Man versus Tafik.
The following is a semifinal match in the BCW Commonwealth Title Tournament. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed 205 pounds. He is a technical wrestler coming to us from Tehran, Iran. He is Amir Big Money Mann.
And here he is coming out first here tonight because last week when it was Kensho versus Amir, Kensho came to the ring first and Kensho got absolutely blindsided by Grizzly Mac. So Amir Mann, I believe BCW management instructed him to come out first so there could be no sneak attacks as Amir Mann is bringing his insurance policy, Grizzly Mac, to the ring here tonight. Kensho is not here. Kensho is still injured after the brass knuckle shot to the face. So the X Factor here could be Grizzly Mac in the corner of Amir. Will that be enough for Amir to advance to the finals? We're going to find out.
Standing 6 feet 5 inches tall and weighing 300 pounds. He is a brawler and a striker, hailing from Copenhagen, Denmark, Tafik.
And here he is, the destroyer from Denmark, Tafik. So big, so strong, coming out here not only to punch his ticket to the finals, but also to avenge the loss of his tag team partner Kensho in the quarterfinals. Can Tafik get it done here tonight? Can he advance to the finals? We are going to find out with Grizzly Mac in the corner of Amir. It's a huge X Factor. Can Tafik overcome? Amir Mann in the red corner, Tafik in the blue. Second semifinal match here tonight. The bell has rung. The match is underway. Who is going to advance to the finals? There is only one slot left. And as we break down this one, as I mentioned, Grizzly Mac could be a huge X factor for Amir winning. Amir has cheated his way to the semifinals. Can he cheat his way to the finals? But Tafik picking him up in a huge drill claw right at the beginning of this match. This could be over. Landing Amir right on his neck. Rocking the spine, only gets a 1 though. Amir Mann still too fresh. And I mentioned Grizzly Mac in the corner of Amir as an X Factor, but we got to take a look at one more X Factor in this one, is that Amir Mann, for the first time ever, he is coming to the ring with that taped right fist. I think the referee this week is going to be looking for the brass knuckles. He is going to have an eagle eye on that right hand of Amir to prevent him from using the brass knuckles again. But does Amir have something literally and physically up his sleeve with that taped fist? Does he have the brass knuckles taped up under his fist? I do not know, but that is something to look for in this matchup. Oh, and a chop there. If he does have that loaded fist, a chop right to the trap. That's going to do a lot more damage. That's going to be a huge advantage for Amir. Oh, but went for the back elbow there and just ran into the brick wall that is Tafik. Amir Mann giving up about 100 pounds to Tafik, and he went for that back elbow, and there was just no effect. Amir Mann rolls out. He's got to regroup, and Tafik going out there, taking out Amir and Grizzly Mac. What a beautiful maneuver. Tafik does not go up to the top rope very often, but when he does, it is like a 300-pound missile coming at you. Tafik preemptively going after Grizzly Mac, making him think about interfering or potentially interfering in this matchup. Grizzly Mac was taken out last week by Tafik, so you know Grizzly Mac is going to want to do so. Oh, and here we go. Just as I say that, Grizzly Mac is going to want to do something to cost Tafik this matchup. Throws a kendo stick in the ring. Is this going to be a distraction for the referee to turn his back, or will Amir use it? And that's exactly what it was, a potential distraction. And Amir Mann using those taped up fists, went for a European uppercut there after 2 shots to the ribs. If that is a loaded fist, that's doing a lot of damage to Tafik. I would not put it past Amir by any stretch of the imagination to have that fist loaded. Amir is on the roll of a lifetime. He defeated Kensho to earn a slot in this tournament. Tafik goes for the quick cover here. 2. Amir was the only competitor to have to earn his way into the tournament just because his record was no singles wins at that time. But he defeated Cameron Lewis to get into the tournament, and Cameron Lewis, he is the current #1 contender. He was the most improved wrestler of 2024, so that is a huge accomplishment. And he defeated Kensho, a former #1 contender, top-ranked wrestler in the BCW. Oh, and here we go. And Grizzly Mac here removing the top turnbuckle pad. This did not work out well for Sergio. Will it work out better for Amir here? And Amir just went for that clothesline and got stuffed by Tafik. But Amir, big reversal into that barricade, again crashing on the ribs of a Tafik. It's not a bad game plan for Amir, man, to target the ribs if you can take the cardio away from such a big 300-pounder. Oh, and the misdirect into the ref, followed by that springboard bulldog. And Grizzly Mac distracting the ref, causing him to look at Grizzly Mac, and now fixing that top turnbuckle pad. Has Amir got something there? Oh, and hits him with that sneaky DDT, but the ref has got his back turned. He's putting that top turnbuckle pad back on. This cost Amir on this one. Can he still... Oh, only a 1 count. I think that might have cost Amir. Amir went for that sneak attack, potentially with that loaded fist. Tafik flinched. Oh, and now he hit him with the money clip. Could this be it? That's his finisher. Money clip finisher 2. Tafik kicks out. Other than that little snafu on the timing, this has gone the exact way I think Amir Man has wanted it. And now Grizzly Mac up on the apron, and he's going for it. Again, could this be the strategy? Just constantly bombarding the ref with distraction after distraction. But Tafik hits a big, huge, ugly Bavarian suplex there, followed it up by a big knee. And when it comes to Grizzly Mac causing the distractions, Grizzly Mac is working overtime here tonight. He is earning every bit of that paycheck that Amir Man gives him. And Amir stuffs it with the jaw jacker. More shots, more. Oh, and this time he hits the clothesline. He's able to take Tafik down. Indicative that whatever Amir Man is doing, he is really wearing out the big man. And again, the referee has been distracted for about 75% of this matchup from Grizzly Mac. Tafik at a huge disadvantage here, and Amir Man finally hits that back elbow that he's been going for. And now up to the top rope. Amir Man's got something planned. Oh, and a big crossbody, hits it. Takes the 300-pounder off his feet. But now he's playing it up to the crowd. Not a smart maneuver. When you have Tafik on his back, you got to keep the pressure on. Oh, and here we go, going for another drill claw, perhaps. Amir Man able to get out the back door. What's he got here? Looked like he was going for the ropes again. Amir Man smart to use that extra little bit of leverage and momentum to get Tafik off his feet. Tafik here really grinding him on the ropes there. Went for that back suplex, and now is he going for the burning hammer? Can he hit it? It put Grizzly Mac away. I think if he hits it here, it's going to put Amir Man away. Big, huge, ugly burning hammer. He hit it. Can he get it done? 1, 2. Got him. Punched his ticket to the finals. Tafik has advanced. What a huge victory for Tafik. Punches his way to the finals of the BCW Commonwealth Title Tournament. And this is how he got it done again. It is that burning hammer. Every time Tafik hits it, it has been devastating. It is the human off switch. Rocks the spine, rocks the shoulders, rocks the neck. A reverberation that goes from the head all the way down to your toes. Tafik has advanced. He will be facing Victor Payne in the finals. What a victory for him. Wow.
Here is your winner via pinfall, Tafik.
And there he is, the big 300-pounder advances. And let's look at the bracket. Each man picked up the victory in the quarterfinals and the semifinals against very, very credible competition. And we have weeded out the weaker opponents. We have had the cream rise to the top in Victor Payne and Tafik. They are going to BCW Slamtacular to compete for the BCW Commonwealth Championship. Who is going to be the first champion? We will find out at Slamtacular. But let's take a quick commercial break before we get to our next matchup of the night. All right, and we are at the third match of the night. SLUGG versus BYRON Cassidy, non-title match in the co-main event. BYRON Cassidy, he is 1-0 since returning to BCW, and he defeated Liam Connors last week, who is the tag team partner of SLUGG. Can SLUGG pick up a victory here tonight against a man who has been on a roll in BYRON Cassidy? Let's take it to the ring and find out right now.
Introducing the man known as SLUGG.
And here we go, SLUGG making his way to the ring for this non-title match. He is the current tag team partner of Liam Connors, who BYRON defeated last week. But he is also the former ally of BYRON Cassidy. It was a few years ago when Sergio Gomez shaved SLUGG's head bald. BYRON came to his aid, but there is no love lost now between these two. Who's coming out with the victory here tonight between SLUGG and BYRON Cassidy?
Standing 6 feet tall and weighing in at 230 pounds, fighting out of London, England, he is the 2024 Euroslam winner, the Butcher, BYRON Cassidy.
And here's a man who has been on quite the roll lately, currently on a 5-match win streak. The Butcher, BYRON Cassidy, the 2024 Euroslam champion. He went to Europe late last year, competed in the Euroslam tournament, defeated 3 of the top European wrestlers to get that beautiful championship belt, put everyone on notice in the locker room last week when he came back, defeated Liam Connors. And tonight he is facing a big, huge man, a former ally in SLUGG. And BYRON Cassidy, for so long, he was climbing and climbing and climbing up the ranks, only to hit those mental roadblocks. He has put all that behind him now, and for my money, he is one of the top wrestlers here in BCW. Anyone who goes up against a BYRON Cassidy is looking for a tough, tough night at the office. Can BYRON Cassidy extend his winning streak to 6? We're going to find out here tonight, but the X Factor is going to be these are former allies. They have tagged before. Does SLUGG have a little bit of insight into BYRON Cassidy, having tagged with him, having been a former ally? Will that be SLUGG's key to victory here tonight, or will BYRON Cassidy just steamroll his opponent? We are going to find out in the third matchup here tonight, and what a matchup it is, BYRON Cassidy versus SLUGG. So, and here we go, the two meeting each other in the ring. Will it be a clean handshake between these former allies? SLUGG feints the handshake. BYRON Cassidy slaps him in the face, and that is going to set the tone for this matchup. And here we go, the bell is rung, the match is underway, and BYRON Cassidy just clipping the leg. If SLUGG is going to show no respect to BYRON, then BYRON is going to show no respect right back. Coming out like a bat out of hell for the opener on this one. Wow. SLUGG, I thought we might have seen a handshake there, but it was SLUGG playing the mind games, testing that mental toughness of BYRON Cassidy. As I mentioned, for so long, it was the mental game which BYRON Cassidy needed to improve. BYRON Cassidy, he is so jacked, he has all the physical tools, but it was just getting that mental edge where he would mentally break, and I think SLUGG was trying to test that out there in that faint handshake at the start of this matchup. Playing the mind games, worming his way into the head of BYRON, but as we've seen from that big, huge slap across the face, it did not work out for him. And what a slap that was. BYRON Cassidy, if he ever wants to retire, he could compete in slap fight instead of competing in BCW pro wrestling action. Wow, that was a huge slap. Slapped the taste out of his mouth for a good week, I would assume, on that one. Oh, but BYRON going for the triangle choke here. BYRON Cassidy so adept at submissions, but SLUGG so huge, so massive. He's got probably about a 75-pound weight advantage over BYRON and easily able to get out of that triangle choke. And Byron, these two are so fresh, they don't have the sweat on them. I'm sure he was able to really cinch in a tight triangle, but when you are as strong as Slug, just look at the frame of him compared to the frame of Byron. Byron has all that lean muscle. He is in extremely good shape, both physically and in terms of cardio. Byron Cassidy's resilience and endurance is impeccable, but when you got that big, huge go muscles like Slug has, as opposed to the show muscles of a Byron Cassidy, Byron there showing his smarts right there, luring Slug in. No water in the pool. Slug does not go for those maneuvers very often, and that shows why. That was a big, huge crash and burn. No water in the pool. Byron Cassidy so much more better in the ring than out. Opts to throw Slug back in. Neck breaker there, really wearing him out. And Byron Cassidy, he has been just absolutely phenomenal in his last matchups. He defeated some of the biggest and baddest in that Euroslam competition. Defeated a submission expert just like himself last week in Liam Connors. But now he is facing a different animal. But I think Byron Cassidy, in competing in that Euroslam tournament, it has perfectly prepared him to defeat opponents like this, and hits him with that big, huge butcher's block. He was able to defeat the 600-pound gargantuan in the Euroslam tournament, and he is able to defeat the 300-pounder Slug in this exhibition match, and wow, just picks him up. And that butcher's block, it is so devastating. That pendulum maneuver, using gravity, using momentum, it is very rare for someone to get out of that one, and Byron Cassidy picks up a huge win. Winner via pinfall, currently on a 6-match win streak.
Here is your winner via pinfall, the Butcher, Byron Cassidy.
And congratulations to Byron Cassidy. Looking forward to see him compete in his next matchup at Random Draw.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just been informed by Mr. GM that Isaac Taylor has been attacked backstage and will not be able to compete tonight. Therefore, tonight's main event will now be Dirty Don and Hard Limit facing Benson Hicks and Cameron Lewis in a 3-on-2 handicap match.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news here. I guess Isaac Taylor was attacked backstage. Tonight it will be a 3-on-2 handicap match in the main event. Dirty Don and Hard Limit taking on Benson Hicks and Cameron Lewis. What a development we have here. We're going to have to take a quick commercial break, and then we are getting to our handicap match main event.
The following contest is your main event of the evening and will be a handicap match.
All right, and here we go. Main event time of BCW 43, and this is not the main event we thought we were getting here tonight. It is now a 3-on-2 handicap match. BCW World Champion Dirty Don and Hard Limit taking on the two #1 contenders in Benson Hicks and Cameron Lewis. This backstage attack on Isaac Taylor screams of something that Dirty Don would have done. We can't prove it as of right now, but let's get to the ring for the main event here tonight, 3-on-2 handicap match.
Ladies and gentlemen, the future Cameron Lewis and Benson Hicks.
And here they are, the two number one contenders for the world title, Benson Hicks and Cameron Lewis. One of these men or both will be competing for the BCW World Title next week at Random Draw 3. The randomizer will determine if it will be Cameron Lewis, Benson Hicks, or if it will be both of them in a triple threat match. But tonight they got to put their differences aside. They got to team up for this 3-on-2 handicap match. They got to be on their game. It looks to be like they're on the same page.
Ladies and gentlemen, the undisputed BCW World Heavyweight Champion, Dirty Dawn.
And here they are making their way to the ring with a certain amount of swagger. And I guarantee they have that certain amount of swagger because they are coming into this match with the numbers game advantage. 3-on-2 handicap match here tonight. And although I cannot confirm that Dirty Dawn and or Hard Limit have attacked Isaac Taylor backstage, the only person who would have a beef with Isaac Taylor would be Dirty Dawn. It was Isaac Taylor who gifted his Champions Challenge opportunity to Cameron Lewis. Cameron Lewis won the match, and now he is the number one contender for the world title. So the only person on the backstage who would have beef with Isaac Taylor would be Dirty Dawn. But that's a moot point here because we have the 3-on-2 handicap match here tonight. Isaac Taylor not medically cleared to compete. So here we go. The bell has rung. The match is underway. 3-on-2 handicap match main event for BCW 43. Dirty work here tonight. And it is Cameron Lewis going up against Sweetcox to start off this matchup. And a quick cover here. Oh, and Cameron Lewis already getting a 2 on Sweetcox. Beautiful springboard off the ropes. That's exactly what Cameron Lewis is going to want to use in this matchup. That is how he became the number one contender. He is one of the fastest, most agile high flyers on the roster. He's going to want to use that high flying prowess to do some damage here tonight to pick up the win. And it is going to be a tough task when you are coming into this one at a numbers disadvantage. But that is what the two number one contenders are going to have to do tonight. They have never tagged before. Cameron Lewis and Benson Hicks, they are going to have to work together. Cameron Lewis, he is that tag team specialist. Benson Hicks, he is undefeated in tag team matches as well. Oh, and Cameron Lewis hits his finisher right here with that frog splash. Can he pick up the victory over Sweetcox in a quick one? Oh, and just gets smothered by the Tool, the tag team partner of Sweetcox. But Cameron Lewis, you love to see that he is fighting with a sense of urgency. He knows that when you have the numbers game disadvantage, you got to do something quick, you got to do something fast, and you hopefully can pick up a quick victory. And this one here, anytime it is... Oh, and here we go. We'll get to my thought in just a second, because right here we have the Girthquake from Sweetcox. That is his finisher, and is he going to pick up the win here? 1, 2. And Benson Hicks, being a beautiful tag team partner, breaks it up there. Sweetcox hitting his finisher, that Girthquake, which is that kick below the belt. Sweetcox has a special caveat in his contract that allows him to use that low blow type maneuver without getting disqualified. I do not know who negotiated that specific clause into the contract, but it is a moot point because nonetheless it stands how it stands. Sweetcox here wrapping up the arm, goes for that elbow to the back, picks him up, hits a beautiful backbreaker. And that is what you're going to want to do against a Cameron Lewis. Not up that back. It's really going to affect his mobility. The Tool there cuts him off. And these two more of a mirror match in terms of size, skill, and speed between the Tool and Cameron Lewis. Cameron Lewis there looking for a little bit of tag team synergy. Goes for the tag. Looking on a double team maneuver here. Picks him up and goes for a huge shoulder block from Benson Hicks. Now Benson Hicks, the other number one contender for the world title. He has faced quite a lot the Tool, Sweetcox, but he really wants Dirty Dawn. He wants to go into random draw, and he wants that randomizer to make it a one-on-one matchup so he can get his hands on Dirty Dawn. quite literally since episode 1 of BCW, Benson Hicks has wanted a one-on-one match against Dirty Don. He has not got it yet, but the Tool right there hitting a beautiful X-Factor maneuver. Cameron Lewis breaking it up. And Benson Hicks, he has faced the Tool one-on-one. He has come out with the victory. He has faced Sweetcox one-on-one multiple times and come out with the win. What's the Tool got here? Oh, goes for a beautiful maneuver, wraps him up. Opts to not go for the cover there. I think he's looking to inflict damage. I think it is going to be the edict of a Tool, of a Sweetcox, of a Dirty Don to get in here and try and injure the #1 contenders for the BCW World Title. And quite surprising, Dirty Don reaching out his hand, opting to get in the ring himself to do some dirty work of his own. But Cameron Lewis with a big, beautiful back cracker there. Double knees right to the spine. And Dirty Don, you do not see him getting his hands dirty. You do not see him getting into the dirty work himself. That is usually what Sweetcox and the Tool is for. But desperate times cause for desperate measures, as Dirty Don is looking to get in the ring himself and do some damage, potentially also putting some of that information into his mental computer to see if he can formulate the proper game plan to face a Benson Hicks, to face a Cameron Lewis, or if the odds are not in his favor, to face both of them in a triple threat match. Dirty Don won the BCW World Title in a triple threat match, but he has never defended it in a triple threat. So is that why Dirty Don is looking to do some of the dirty work here himself, cause some injuries to his #1 contenders, while at the same time formulating a game plan? And speaking of game plan, Dragon Sleeper from the biggest man in the matchup. Oh, and Cameron Lewis right there breaking it up. And having those legs knotted up. Really putting all that weight onto the ankles and the calves on a Benson Hicks, while at the same time implementing that Dragon Sleeper from a man whose arms are as big as his quads and Sweetcox. That'll really cause you to pass out real quick, having all that oxygen be cut off from the carotid artery. Oh, and Cameron Lewis with the fake out, going for that big punch to the face. But that is not going to stop Sweetcox with this Gotch-style driver. Grabs the leg. Oh! Benson Hicks breaking it up with that double kick right to the face. And Sweetcox throws him back into his corner. Is he going to go for a double team maneuver? Is he going to look to wear him out? And look at... Oh, kick right to the ankle. Not even to the knee, right to the ankle. And Cameron Lewis walking a bit gingerly on it. To compete in this match and then going into that world title match potentially at Random Draw 3, you are really going to want to affect the legs of a Cameron Lewis. He is so stringy. He's got rubber bands for legs. He has got trampolines for ankles. He is so good at really getting all that height off the top rope for his frog splash finisher. Oh, and a big woo chop there. Locking him up in the corner and going for that bottom rope moonsault. Beautiful maneuver there, and tags Benson Hicks. Now Benson is in. Benson looking to do some damage to Sweetcox. Benson picks him up. What's he going for here? Is he going to go? Oh, it looks like he's going for the red, white, and bruise, and he hits it. Setting him up for his finisher. Oh, he's got a lot of swagger on this one. Dirty Don and the Tool forced to look on the apron, while Benson Hicks goes for the red, the white, and the bruise. And elbow drop to the solar plexus, forcing all the air out of Sweetcox. Could this be it? But Dirty Don right there and perfectly in position to kick Benson Hicks right in the face. And he gets out of dodge real quick. He does not want any part of Benson. And next week, BCW presents Random Draw 3, the night where every single match on the card is randomized. Whether that be the match type or the opponents, every match will have a randomized stipulation. It is the most predictable night of the year. It is one of my favorite events that BCW puts on, so it is a can't miss. So mark your calendars for next week BCW 44 Random Draw 3. But we still got a lot of action here tonight with a huge spinning back kick from Cameron Lewis. And now he's going to the top. Is he going to pull out the frog splash from 3/4 of the way across the ring? And he hits it, crashing right into the stomach of Sweetcox, letting all that air rush out. 1, 2, picks up the win. Cameron Lewis, seemingly out of nowhere, with 2 big, huge maneuvers, picks up the win for his team in a 3-on-2 handicap match. What a win for the 2 when they are going up against the 3. A little bit of an upset, but when you have the 2 number 1 contenders, the 2 top-ranked wrestlers in BCW teaming up, it is also, in the same way it is a surprise, the same way it is not a surprise. The 2 number 1 contenders are rolling into Random Draw 3 with all the momentum in the world. But will it be Cameron Lewis competing for the world title? Will it be Benson Hicks competing for the world title? Or will it be a triple threat match? We're going to find out at Random Draw 3. But the 2 number 1 contenders rolling into Random Draw 3 with all the momentum in the world. You got to love to see it, especially when Isaac Taylor has been attacked backstage, forcing them to compete in this handicap match. But as BCW 43 opened up, it was Victor Payne advanced to the semifinals with a huge win over Tony Rizzo. Then we saw Tafik defeating Amir Mann with Grizzly Mac in his corner. Grizzly Mac caused a lot of distractions, but it was not enough. Tafik was able to plow through, put his nose to the grindstone, and was able to advance to the finals as well. And then it was the Butcher, Byron Cassidy, making short work of SLUGG. Byron Cassidy extends his win streak. You gotta love to see that from Byron Cassidy. And then in the main event, 3-on-2 handicap match, originally a 6-man tag, it was Cameron Lewis picking up the win. Both these number 1 contenders are going into Random Draw with all the momentum. Will that make the difference? We're gonna have to find out next week when we find out via the randomizer who will compete for the world title. And then looking to the next episode, it will be Byron Cassidy facing a mystery opponent. He has issued an open challenge to anyone in the world who will answer the challenge as the randomizer picks Byron Cassidy's opponent. And then we are being told by production staff that we have exclusive footage of Isaac Taylor's attack. Who attacked Isaac Taylor? We're going to find out next week. More matches announced for Random Draw 3 Night 2 next week. And who will be competing for the world title? We do not know. Dirty Don does not know. The 2 number 1 contenders do not know. Who will the randomizer select next week? We're going to find out. But thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one.